All rise. Hear ye, hear ye. The Hamblen County Commission meeting is now in session. The Honorable Chris Cutshaw presiding. And please remain standing.
Thank you, Harley. Good evening, everyone. We're so glad that you found your way here for our regularly scheduled monthly meeting this October the 24th, 2024. As we begin tonight, I'd like to call on my pastor, as he is pastor to several in this room, our friend, our senior pastor from First Baptist Church, Dean Hahn, if he would please to lead us in prayer tonight.
Before I pray, let me invite all of you Sunday evening at 6 o'clock to a community-wide prayer meeting that's going to be held here on the courthouse lawn as we pray for our community and for our nation. So thank you very much. Let's pray. Father, thank you for government. And thank you for structure. Thank you for the laws. You've established those things in your word that we might have a successful and well-run community. So we're grateful for your plan. And thank you for allowing us to be a part of your plan. I pray for every man and woman on this commission that you would bless them, strengthen them, encourage them, and give them wisdom as they lead our county. And Father, for all that have gathered here today, may our actions honor you and bless your holy name. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Doty, would you please?
We place the flag, attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Linda. Dane. How you doing? Are you getting along?
Madam Clerk, let's call the roll, please. Thank you. We do have a quorum, and we will get started. Welcome, everyone, once again. I'd like to ask everyone to please, if you have your cell phones out, to put those away, put them on silent, not to interrupt the meeting. And we do operate with local rules. Our local rules are printed at a sheet at the back of the room for speaking, and otherwise we use Robert's Rules of Order. If you need those, they're at the rear of the room, and we will begin. First order of business. We would like to ask that All Saints Episcopal School, their middle school class or middle school group, if y'all would stand, please. These kids, folks, are visiting us tonight to take a look at Hamblen County government. We're grateful that you're here, and their teachers, their sponsors, their parents. Thank y'all for being here. I hope you have a great evening and watching how this works. Thank you for being here. Can you stand there and hold that while they're... Okay, next order of business, it's recognition, employees' years of service. And I'd like to call Commissioner Joe Huntsman to the well, please. He's the man. So we're grateful for Joe and his service. Commissioner Walker, would you do me the honors, please?
Can you make it? Thank you. Some of them knocked me out of the
We'll now move into item 2, our public comment section. Item 2A, regarding non-agenda items. We have 2 that have signed up on our list. Number 1, Ms. Ellis, you are welcome to come forward.
So,
You have 3 minutes.
Wendy Ellis, 598 Rippy-Toe. We're here to speak on the campers. In the next couple of months, y'all will be getting recommendations to keep laws and regulations the same. But if you do so and vote yes to keep the laws the same, you're not only voting out the people on that list, but you're going to have to give everybody that lives in a camper and tiny home a letter to get out. Do you know how many people that lives in tiny homes and campers in the county? It's hundreds. The people in North Carolina and here in East Tennessee with the floods, they've lost everything. Their homes, their cars, their loved ones. And they wish that they had a camper to put over their heads at night instead of sleeping in the cold when it's dropping down to 30s and 40s degrees at night. Now, the petition that I've had over 1,000 signatures. 75% of them are local voters. If y'all don't think that 750 voters can change an election, you're wrong. One can. Now, I've said this from the beginning. God had put me in this fight. He told me to stand up for these people. And that's what I'll do until he tells me to stop. But I also know that he has told me the ones that votes to kick these people out of their homes will be dealt with either here on earth or in heaven. So y'all need to start praying and thinking about that when it's your time to vote to kick these people out or not. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Good.
Next on our list is Ms. Marshall.
I thought maybe a compromise on your part, because so far with the planning and zoning, we're not getting a lot of compromise. It's just, nope, this is it, we're gonna do it. But what if you just grandfathered
Pull that mic
extreme
down.
cases? Like the one that Miss Neesmith, the elderly gentleman, I mean, honestly, how many more years is he gonna live? Why should he have to leave there? Just grandfather in extreme medical cases, like the gentleman with his mother staying in the camper, and that's the only way she would come and live with him. So if you'll just compromise just a little, I'm sure there's a star in your crown for it. But extreme cases should, I mean, seriously, it should. And then, ban all the rest. No new ones can be added, and maybe just a small handful of existing ones can stay. That's it.
Thank you for your comments. That's all we had to sign up on agenda items. Is there anyone here that would like to speak? I'm sorry, on non-agenda items. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to non-agenda items? You have 3 minutes to do so.
Linda Noe, Joe Stevens Road. I'd like to kind of follow up with what Chairman Cutshaw said at the beginning, talking about rules. It's been probably 2 years, at least, since you were going to have an index of the county rules and regulations where people would know what's going on. For example, with what these ladies have mentioned, campers. It would include that under a planning section. And I know a lot of this is on the website, the county website, But sometimes it's difficult to navigate that, particularly since there isn't exactly an index that just would take you to certain things, unless you know exactly how to use it. But I would like to ask that you go ahead and make the rules and make an index where you can easily find something. It could have subtopics like planning and zoning, and then it could have under that, you know, campers, zoning, what you can do in each zone. And as I said, I know that it's other places, but it needs to be compiled all together, like the Tennessee Code, like the Morristown City Code, and like the code of many other municipalities or counties. I think that would relieve or eliminate some of the problems we've had when the county attorney didn't know that he was being paid to attend meetings, and he was being paid to attend the meetings and then billing you for attend meetings. If there had been an index where everyone could find that, we probably wouldn't have that lawsuit. Same way with the Highway Road Commission. Some of the members are claiming, well, I didn't know we weren't supposed to get paid if we didn't attend the meetings. Most of them knew, but some are saying that. If you had an index, then people could look up the Highway Road Department and find that, as well as many other things. You know, who do I call? What are the duties of the Highway Department, of the Road Commission? So why don't we get back and do what you said you were going to do 2 years ago, when the only thing you did was pretty much was ban cell phones and cut the public speaking down, where you couldn't sign up for 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this commission on non-agenda items?
My name is Gwendolyn Holden. I live at 8150 West Point Drive. I want to say tonight that I can't take money that don't belong to me, whether I know it or whether I don't know it. And if I find out that I've took money that doesn't belong to me, I should pay it back. And you know what? I want to thank God that Mr. Carter, before he died, paid his money back. That had to be a God thing. It had to be. And I thank God that Mr. Carter did that. And if men that are supposed to be respected and looked up to, they should do the right thing. They should pay the money back if they know they owe it. I don't care what board it is, what board you sit on. You should man up and pay the money back if you know it's not yours. And if you find out it's not yours, pay it back. You don't take money that don't belong to you.
Thank you for your comments. Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm Jack Chung, live in 3800 Bobby Court, Garrison Estates. Recently, I realized that the trash pickup had been changed, which I don't aware of that. I know the hurricane had a lot to do with that. Because I called in, they said the trash will not pick up anything housing material, only pick up the wood. My concern is, what happened all this time we've been picking up all the trash like material. For instance, I had 2 pieces of sheetrock, and I've been told that I supposed to pick it up myself and put it to the landfill. Okay, I understand what you're doing, but that is a double-edged sword. What it means is, people don't go there, don't take the trash to the landfill, they're going to throw somewhere else, to a neighborhood, somewhere they don't want nobody to realize that. Guess what? County going to be a mess. All right? I need somebody to tell me what is the plan going to be in the future. Don't just tell me there, say that we're not going to pick up anything else but the wood. We cannot burn it, those things. I would suggest schedule a time. You might pick up the wood. Next time, schedule pick up the trash. Don't just say, we just don't do that. That is not fair, because we all pay the taxes here, okay? All pay tax. Supposed to be everybody treated equally. That's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission on non-agenda items?
Is that good?
Yeah, you'll need to state your name and
Justine Jones, 3436 Old Kentucky Road.
thank you, ma'am.
I have lived in Hamblen County for almost 20 years. I have recently become a homeowner here in Morristown, in which certain situations have opened my eyes, and I am appalled at just how much our local government is blatantly working against the citizens. We say no, and you push it through anyway. For example, the Taj Mahal jail. And this is coming from a group of people who are supposed to be speaking on the residents' behalf. Yet you think you're authorized to tell me I can't live in a camper on my property? If I am a law-abiding citizen, I pay my property taxes, which is a joke. And I keep everything safe and sanitary. What right do you have to tell me how to utilize my land, my investment? Are y'all harassing all the illegal immigrants since they are living under one single home with 15 to 20 people, maybe more? These are not very big houses, by the way. I'm sure that's unsafe and not very sanitary, considering a typical septic tank can usually handle a household of 4 to 6 people. Are you knocking and leaving letters on their doors? Who do y'all think you are? And on to my next point, why do you think it's acceptable to restrict people that live in Hamblen County? I have owned my business here for 6 years, and my fiance not long ago decided he wanted to open up a business of his own. We were told only one business per residence. What? Now, I could understand if I was bringing foot traffic to my home because my land is not commercial land. But that's not the case with either of our professions. It is completely ridiculous that our government keeps overstepping boundaries, our rights as United States citizens. When was this rule adopted into our laws? The 50s? When women were Susie homemakers? Not that there's anything wrong with that. But more importantly, when did y'all start enforcing this? Because like I said, I've lived here since I was 19 years old. And both my parents ran businesses under one address. Even I, at one point, started a business under the same roof. So that's 3 separate businesses beneath one residential location. How is it justifiable that y'all get to pick and choose what laws are enforced and not enforced? Do we not live in America? Have you forgotten what your job position requirements are and who you are representing? As soon as your moral values no longer align with your constituents, then you have no purpose, and why are you here? All these questions, but will we ever get answers? Because what I've seen so far is most of y'all tap dancing around the voice of the people, and we the people are tired of it. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Order, please. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission on non-agenda items? Seeing none, hearing none, we will now move to item 2B. Public comments regarding agenda items. First we have on the list.
Hold on, I want to speak for agenda items. Can we talk on that?
It's not your turn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It was here on this list.
I go with the list first and then I call up. Yes, you're fine. Mr. Pellegrin, you have signed up for this one.
Thank you, Commissioners. Dan Pellegrin, 7290 Sweetbriar Drive in Talbot. Thank you. I'm going to talk about the beer permit that's in your packet. I didn't print it all out. About this place on Henley Road in Morris. Well, that's where he lives at. On Reed's Chapel Road or whatever it is. Anyway, the problem is we did about 8 months ago, we brought up about the paperwork that was brought out we couldn't enforce. And I know it was put in now on by Mr. Capps on the zoning paper that we can't enforce the distance. But they're still issuing the same paperwork with that on there. So we need to take that out, please.
Yes, sir.
Next thing is, I don't like blanks left open. So if you look on there, map number and parcel number were not filled out. So I had to do a little research to find out where it was. So I have an issue with that also. Another issue I have with it is he wants a beer permit for basically an R1 zoning. And we just went up this 7 or 8 months ago with the Michael's Pizza College, which is C1. And if you read your zoning ordinance, it should be C1. And I'm not against him having it, you know, his beer permit. I'm just against not being zoned. We need to be consistent with this. And if he's grandfathered in, he's only grandfathered in for what he's at now. If he wants to make a change, that opens it up now. I feel he should come back, ask for a zoning change to C1, and then get the permit. And that would be okay with me. I'm not against him having it. Business is there. It's probably been there for a long time. It's also a gas station. And he's got underground tanks. I feel that we could correct this by changing it, have him change it right off the first, do the C1 change, then come back with the beer permit to get this. We've got to be consistent. If you're going to allow somebody or want to get a beer permit, somebody in C1, then basically we're going all over the place. And then you also look on here, they have the zoning on here, and I never could find it where they said it's a rural commercial thing. I can't find that nowhere in your zoning paper where that's included in that. We need to fix this before we give it to them. That's what I believe. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. Now the floor is open for anyone that would like to address this commission on agenda items. You may come forward and state your name. You have 3 minutes.
My name is Justine Jones, 3436 Old Kentucky Road. If Chairman Cutshaw needs a babysitter because he can't or doesn't know how to perform as mayor, then maybe a vote should proceed, so we, the people, can decide for ourselves who we think is the best candidate for the job. After all, the United States represents democracy, meaning the government is elected by the residents. Here in this country, the citizens vote for who we want to represent us. Former Mayor Britton and you, Chairman Cutshaw, are a threat to our democracy. You should immediately resign, since you know...
Ma'am, you're not allowed to make threats or point out personalities. I understand. It's your tone.
Okay. Because you no longer speak for the people. You no longer hold our values or our commitment to being a democratic republic. There is no position in our government where you, said person, should be appointed. Who died and made you king? So not only are you taking away our right to vote on our local representation, but you're also taking away our choice to not hire former Mayor Britton at $40 an hour to be built-in babysitter for you. It should not be the taxpayer's responsibility to employ Mr. Britton as a consultant in view of the fact that Chairman Cutshaw can't or doesn't know how to properly perform the task. I think it's fair to assume, Chairman, it's your lacking in ability that leads to the reintroduction of Bill Britton into our local office, correct? I hope so. Hopefully it's not because you crooked politicians situate yourselves into these positions of power. That way you can line your own greedy pockets at the expense of us hardworking tax-paying citizens. Some of you commissioners forget who y'all work for and who placed y'all on that high horse you've been dictating from. I'm here to remind you of just that we Hamblen County residents are still here. Our eyes are open and we are watching. And being that I have time left on this, what steps do I have to take? How many signatures on a petition is required to have this undeserving self-appointed man removed from this position? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission on agenda items?
Talk about the item in the finance committee meeting or finance agenda regarding refunding or reimbursing money from Road Commissioner Gail Free. I want to just show you a few little things because it seems that many of you are focusing on one document, and that's a belated, self-serving, you might call it an affidavit or a statement made by Gail Free after Mayor Britton said, you got to pay the money back because Mayor Britton thought she had moved out of the district in March of 2022. Now, I know why he thought that, and there was good reason to think that. There was the warranty deed from the trustee of her parents' estate conveying their house in White Pine, 3092 Roy Messer Road, to Gail Free. You would think if she bought that house that she probably intended to live in it, and you'd wonder why she would wait 2 years to move into this beautiful house. Then there was the statement or the form that she filled out for Hamblen County right at the same time in 2022. March of 2022, she fills out a change of address form, hands it in to Hamblen County, I guess it's the Human Relations Department, and she says, I'm changing my address and I'm changing my phone number. I'm changing my address to 3092 Roy Messer Highway, White Pine, Jefferson County. That would make you think, wonder, why would she put that new address down if she wasn't living there? Then you have the killer, her voter registration in Jefferson County, dated February 15th, 2024. Now, these were indicative that they didn't prove she lived there, but they were indicative. But when you sign a sworn statement, I, being duly sworn, declare that the above address, 3092 Roy Messer Highway, White Pine, is my legal residence. But so many of you are relying on the self-serving. Once she got billed by Bill, she comes up with her affidavit that says, oh, I lived in Hamblen County, in my road districts even, for 2 years after I bought that house. And after, and for 6 or 8 months, 6 or 8 months later.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission?
Mike John Cox, 3121 Three Springs Road. I want to go on the 11C32 on the funding of the Mayor Britton to help our interim mayor. I see no problem with it. I'm in an organization where people help people that have held the position before. I see it as a possible benefit to the county. We were at a committee meeting last week, and I heard, there's grants that he brought in for $100,000 for tourism, another grant, I think $50,000. I can't remember exactly. But I believe that expertise and, passing that information on, I really believe that the county will benefit financially and to help our incoming interim mayor, if not, the future. I don't know. That's got to go with the ballot box. But I'm in agreement for that, for helping people fulfill a position they're just setting in for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to bring their comments to this commission? May do so now.
Hello. My name is Rhonda Morgan, 2784 or 2752 North Coffee. I could be at Sandy's house or on my property, either one. I'm just here to make a suggestion that I think that maybe we should look a little bit deeper into this Gilfrey situation. I'm pretty sure you don't have an affidavit from her friend that she supposedly, her neighbor that she lived with, and there's a reason why you don't. There's a reason why you don't have one of those.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Is there anyone else that would like to address this commission with public comments on agenda items? Seeing none, hearing none, we will now move into item number 3 on our agenda, the appointment of county mayor. Off the board, before we get that, I need I'd like the public to understand that this appointment comes about, that Mayor Britton retired September the 30th. It leaves the position open, and there's not a available election the way the Election Commission works, that the next available election is 2026. That is why this appointment is necessary at this time. The floor is open for nominations.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to nominate interim county mayor Chris Cutshaw, position of county mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Vice Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I have been nominated, and I'm willing to accept this position if voted. Would you please take the chair?
Yes, sir.
Does he not have to have a second? Good God.
Okay, we have thank you. We have a nomination for county mayor, Mr. Cutshaw. Do we have any other nominations? Okay, nominations are closed. We will vote this off the board.
Do we want a voice vote?
Yeah, we can. We are working with the new system up here, so these ladies are doing an excellent job, but they're in the learning curve.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Chris Thomas Doty,
Yes.
Edna Green,
No.
Stan Harville,
Yes.
Bobby Pond,
Yes.
Jim Porter,
Yes.
Joe Huntsman,
Yes.
Peggy Howell,
No.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Mike Richardson,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
No.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
That's 10 yeas, 3 nays.
We have a majority. Our new mayor will be Chris Cutshaw. Judge Collins, would you come up and give the oath of office? And would Mayor Cutshaw's family please join us in the well?
Got you trapped in,
Walked
boy.
you out, youngin'.
Come on, show your athletic ability. Jump it up, jump over.
That left a long time ago, Mr. Neesmith.
Now they moved it, Doug.
Yeah, now they move. Remember that when he gets them in court.
Judge, how we do this?
Just need an oath from. Oh, yeah, okay. However you want us to do. You gonna hold it for me?
Yeah.
All right. Raise your right hand and repeat after me.
I, Chris Cutshaw,
I, Chris Cutshaw,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will perform
that I will perform
with fidelity
with fidelity
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
to which I've been appointed
to which I have been appointed
and which I'm about to assume.
and which I am about to assume.
I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
to support the constitutions
support the Constitution
of Tennessee and the United States
of Tennessee and the United States
and to faithfully perform
and to faithfully perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of mayor
of mayor
for Hamblen County,
of Hamblen
Tennessee.
County, Tennessee.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sign right there, Mayor, before we can make the picture.
PDA right there. Public display of affection. Can't have it.
Yeah.
She's back there.
I want to congratulate you, Mayor Cutshaw.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mayor. There you go, sir. We shall carry on. And that will leave a opening for District 9, and we'll be moving into that next month at a regular meeting. Move down to number 4, Calendar and Rules Committee. Chairman Thomas Doty.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I call the Calendar and Rules Committee meeting to order. We have item 4A, which is the approval of the consent calendar items, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Who's got a second?
I'm sorry. On the board. Oh, I'm new to this job. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ahern. Maybe jump up and wave, I suppose. Do we have any discussion? Okay, let's vote the motion. As I said, be patient. We're working with a new system up here. No pressure. Okay, we're gonna have to revote that again because of technical issues. We're getting it worked out, so let's, enter your vote again. Okay?
Yes.
We're good.
We're good.
Okay.
All right, we have 13 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Item 4B is our regular calendar items, but at your books, and we should have emails on, we have 2 additions that we need to vote on before we can approve the regular calendar. The first is under Finance, the 11E, which is Resolution 2431A, resolution of the County Commission of Hamblen County, Tennessee, accepting a historic development grant from the state of Tennessee to help fund the repair of the courthouse portico. This grant, it's been awarded the $500,000 to help us repair this. Have a motion. Motion that we approve this to add.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion. We got a second. Mr. Walker. Does anybody have any questions on this? I know this is new. Yes, Mr. Neesmith.
Are we just asking for this grant, or we already got it? Or are they gonna give it to us?
My understanding it's already been awarded, but.
It's been awarded.
County Mayor?
So it's a done deal?
Yeah. Yes.
Good, thank you.
But keep in mind, that's $500,000, a lot of money. We don't have any idea right now what it will cost to redo all that. But it's, we're on the historic registry, the courthouse is. So it's something that we're mandated to take care of. Okay.
Chairman,
Yes.
it's not a matching grant, correct?
Not as such, okay? I mean, we don't, if it costs $600,000, then we will have to meet it with $100,000. Okay, Mr. Mayor, can you touch on that?
Yes, just to clarify, that is a 50-50 matching grant. So whatever the cost is, we have $500,000 available from this grant that we have been awarded. But it is a 50-50 match. Of what we use of that, we match. And again, it is on the historical registry. We are, by that notion, we are commanded to keep up certain criteria. It's in your packet. If you'll read the back page of Part 2, what we're voting on today is only the guidelines to accept. And when the bid comes back and then the commission decides that they don't want to move forward with that, that's another day. But today is that we accept the guidelines. And we will not know the cost of this until it's bid out and have the full cost.
One more question, please, sir?
Yes.
But the way I understand it, if we accept it and we go for the whole 500,000, we have to match, or let me change that, Hamblen County
50-50.
citizens
That's what
have to match
50-50
that
matches. Yes, ma'am.
500,000.
We have to replace the portico or rebuild it. And structural engineer, if you'll read your packet there, it says that it is irreplaceable. I mean, it is not repairable. It has to be replaced.
Dear God, with the jail on top of it.
And as he said, there are some repercussions. I mean, we're mandated to do this, so we've got to get started on it. It's been a necessary object for a while now. Anything else? Let's vote the motion.
I don't have it.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Thomas Doty,
Yes.
Edna Green,
No.
Dan Harble,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Joe Huntsman,
Yes.
Peggy Howell,
Yes.
Rodney Long,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Mike Richardson,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
Okay, that's 12 to 1.
Motion passes. Then, under Public Services, we have item 12B, which is a certificate of authority from Marshtown Hamblen EMS
And I put that in the form of motion that we add that to our regular calendar.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Mr. Long, thank you. Any questions on this? Any discussion? Okay, off the board, we'll vote the motion.
Debbie Ahern,
Yes.
Thomas Doty,
Yes.
Edna Green,
Yes.
Stan Harble,
Yes.
Bobby Hahn,
Yes.
Tim Horner,
Yes.
Joe Huntsman.
Yes.
Peggy Powell,
Yes.
Rodney Vaughn,
Yes.
Mike Reed,
Yes.
Mike Richardson,
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith,
Yes.
Kyle Walker.
Yes.
Unanimous 13.
Motion passes.
Now that we have our regular calendar updated as to the additions, I move that we approve the regular calendar items with the addition of 11E and 12B. Put that in form of a motion.
Yep.
We've got a second.
Okay, we have a second. Who was the second? Okay, Mr. Hartle, thank you. Any discussion on this? All right, let's vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Doty. We had no items removed from the consent calendar. Move down to item 6, approval of consent calendar.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Mr. Doty. Do we have a second? Tim Horner, thank you, sir. Any questions or comments? We'll vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Move down to item 6. Excuse me, item 7. We will recess as the Hamblen County Legislative Body and convene as the Hamblen County Beer Board for a beer permit for Mr. Patel, Reed's Chapel, 02, Inc., 2875 Reed's Chapel Road, Morristown, Tennessee, 37813. Have a motion.
I think this is just for discussion.
Discussion. All right, we'll,
Do that one if I can.
yes.
You know, like Mr. Pellegrin said, can we give a beer permit to something that is actually zoned as R1? Do we have that legal authority? I don't think we do, even though it's classified as commercial. It's still zoned as an R1 according to the paperwork we have.
Anyone else?
Is there anyone here from planning that could answer that question, what they mean by R1 classified as commercial?
Got 2 planning commissioners on the commission.
I'm on the planning commission,
I
but
think
that's, I don't know every aspect of that zoning
I'm not talking about planning
regulation.
commission, I mean from planning, from,
But, you know,
First time I've heard that.
yeah,
I've never heard of us giving one to a R1 designation.
That guy that brought it up a while ago.
Yeah.
Had it residential.
We could not ask our attorney.
Mr. Capps?
I'm not aware of a commercial, typically don't have commercial business in R1 period. And I don't know the answer to the question. I mean, it needs to be taken up and studied to see, we may need to delay it, unfortunately.
I'm leaning that way. I mean, it sounds too much like selling beer out of your basement.
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
I make a motion, we table it to
Oh,
next month.
yes, we got a motion to table.
Second.
Second, Mr. Long.
We need to go into number 8 before we do that. Sorry. I think we need to go into the vote before we do that, close the discussion and go into 8
Have to finish your discussion.
before we take it.
Yeah, this is just discussion.
yeah.
So when we go to the,
Yeah. If we go to that. Anybody else have any comments? Any questions? We have a motion on the table to table this. We have a motion and a second.
We are adjourned as a commission. We can't vote on anything. You have to reconvene as a commission.
Well, we will adjourn as the Hamblen County Beer Board and reconvene as the Hamblen County Legislative Body. Considering beer permit for Mr. Patel at Reed's Chapel 02 Incorporated, 2875 Reed's Chapel Road, Morristown, Tennessee, 37813. We have the motion. Mr. Horner.
Yes.
And we have a second from Mr. Long to table this until we can get a clarification from planning on the residential. I've never heard that before. No one here seems to have an answer to that, so let's move that along and we'll vote on that. But right now on the floor we have the motion and the second to table this beer permit until a later date. Let's take a vote.
Debbie Ahern? Yes. Thomas Doty?
Yes.
Edna Green?
Yes.
Stan Harville?
Yes.
Bobby Hahn?
Yes.
Jim Horner?
Yes.
Joe Huntsman?
Yes.
Peggy Howell?
Yes.
Rodney Long?
Yes.
Mike Reed?
Yes.
Mike Richardson?
Yes.
Wayne Neesmith?
Yes.
Kyle Walker?
Yes.
Unanimous.
May I, Chairman?
Yes, sir, please.
Reminded that there had been a beer permit at this location before, and that may be an issue that we still need to look at because it may make it a situation where we must continue to.
Do you know how long
I don't know.
and what circumstances have changed?
It probably went 6 months without there having been a beer permit there, and therefore probably had to start the process. Written. But that's just something I want everybody to be aware of.
Thank you, Mr. Capps. We'll take that in consideration. We'll look into this. I mean, it could be one of those deals where the beer permit ran out and the neighborhood grew up around it.
Mr. Chairman, I believe there's a change owner there. That could be a change owner issue. When the change owner will get a permit, beer permit will be gone. Is it possible?
That's what we're going to look into.
I think so. I live in the neighborhood.
Thank you.
Sweet.
I will move on down to item 9.
That was 9.
That was 9.
I think we had an amended motion.
No, but.
That's iffy.
Ready? I will now vote on the beer permit with the amendment. Still need a motion?
Oh, she went back to she went on to the resolution there.
Yeah.
On that.
I thought we voted to table this.
You too.
Yeah, we voted to table this so we can move on.
Yeah. So we don't need to vote on the permit right now.
I think if we, under Robert's rules, we can have a motion investigated.
Okay.
Move, we refer the matter to committee.
I think it's our best move at this point.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah. I don't have any idea what that other means, and we'll find that out.
Heard of it before.
Never heard it. No, I haven't either. No. So move down to item 9. We'll recess as the Hamblen County Legislative Body and open the public hearing for Resolution 2429, which is a resolution to amend zoning map of Hamblen County, Tennessee by rezoning District 04, Tax Map 0130, Group A, Parcel 024 00-8021 John Henry Road, Whitesburg, Tennessee, 37891 from C1 to A1. Do you have any discussion? Seeing none, we'll recess as out of that, and close the public hearing and reconvene as the Hamblen County Legislative Body and consider the resolution 2429, a resolution to amend zoning map of Hamblen County, Tennessee by rezoning District 04, tax map 0130, Group A, parcel 024.00-8021, John Henry Road, Whitesburg, Tennessee, 37891, from C1 to A1.
Motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion from Mr. Doty.
Second.
Second from Mr. Long. Yes, sir.
Speak.
I need a second on the tablet.
Oh, tap the tablet, Mr. Long, for your second.
It wasn't on the screen, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Mr. D. Smith.
Does anybody know why he's wanting to take it out of commercial and put it in A1, what his plans are? Is he planning on going with a single-wide mobile home, or what's he gonna do?
Yes. He's
Anybody thought
wanting-
about it?
Go ahead, Thomas.
Go ahead.
Yes, he has done it, the property beside of it, he's putting a modular home in there, and it's really cleaning the place up.
So he's going with a modular home? A1. So you can do it, A1. Yep.
Any other questions? Okay, let's vote the motion.
Yeas, 0 nay.
Motion passes. Item 11, Finance Committee. Mr. Thomas Doty, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Move forward here. Item 11A is an interlocal cooperative agreement for vegetative debris disposal. I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. And we have a second. Mr. Horner. Any discussion? All right, let's vote the motion.
Yeas, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11B is the reimbursement from Road Commissioner from Districts 3 and 4 for $2,583.60. I put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Mr. Walker. Any discussion? Huntsman?
Yes. I'd like to make an amendment to the motion. First off, I think that the county made a mistake by not catching that before it did. And we're not talking about a lot of money, but you know what? If you had your money taken away from, and you had it, and then you had to put it back in there, if you didn't have the money put back, that caused a problem. And I personally, I have a forgiveness in my heart about things like that. And I think we did make a mistake. I agree with you all that. But I think it's time to maybe put it behind us and correct it and don't let that happen again. But it be a learn from what we had done there. But I think it'd be hard to go back and try to collect the money from people who don't have the money to even pay back. I just feel it causes more problems than it's worth if we keep going on with that thing. We're gonna make a lawsuit. But my amendment would be to just put it behind us right now and go forward.
Thank you, Mr. Huntsman. Ms. Green?
Yes, I'd like to bring up first, if you don't care, pass that, start from Mr. Harlan, go around, give Mr. Harlan one of those, please.
One of my favorite road commissions.
I'd like to ask our county attorney first, since we have him present.
Mr. Capps?
You don't care, would you?
I'm not gonna be able to respond to any questions that relate to this litigation that was just filed, okay?
Well, honey,
Is that what
this
the
is,
break-
this is about the one at hand with the road commission, darling.
That's what this lawsuit is about.
Now, this is about Miss Faree, darling.
Okay, Ms. Freed is, no, Ms. Freed is in this lawsuit.
Well, I can't help that. I just need clarification on a while, if you would please, sir, being you are the attorney.
Go ahead and ask your question, and I'll
Okay,
tell you.
if you would take the sheet that I passed over, give this to Mr. Capps so he can understand what I'm asking him about, please. There's one. My question to you is, when I look at the private act, and I highlighted yours to make it easy.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're most welcome, darling. I figured you might be like me. You had bifocals. If I read that correctly, it says only paid upon attending. Am I reading it correctly?
Did you see attending defined anywhere in the act?
What does the act,
Is that a question?
what does the private act say?
It says they shall be paid upon attendance.
That's right.
And is this,
And,
why are you asking this question?
Well, I want clarification to make sure that
The
I'm,
statute speaks for itself. ma'am.
okay, would you clarify it for all of us,
clarify
please? So, Miss, the way I understood the bill that was sent, Miss Free did not attend. Now, in all fairness, she's not the only one that has not attended. You still got several others that have not met their burden of paying. That is county citizens' money. The act says what it says. It means what it says. I didn't pass the private act, the legislator did. But we need to have that paid back. And in all fairness, the law states that upon attending, you will be paid. And in his letter in the mayor's letter to Mr., bear with me a minute, in the mayor's letter to Mr. Charles, I've got it, give me just a minute, Mr. Bobby, please, sir. That's the private act. Mayor sent a letter out to the effect that the county attorney urged the road department to take care of it, but the private act states exactly what it is, and it needs to be paid back. She should have known without a, matter of fact, not just her, my understanding, there was 7 commissioners there, and they all come up owing. That is my understanding.
Okay, let's look at it this way. We have a law in Hamblen County about not residing in campers full-time. And we've had several citizens come forward with different ideas, one being that we grandfather that in and move forward. Okay, Mr. Neesmith had a rational idea of grandfathering that in and moving forward. So that's, we're gonna pick who we take care of and who we don't.
Mr. Huntsman.
Mr. Neesmith.
I asked at the last meeting that we get the proper paperwork to the road commissioner so that the people that writes the checks won't be left hanging out there paying a bill. In other words, make sure they're right when they send that in to us.
Amen.
And if they're not there, she won't give them a check if the paperwork says that. That's something we hadn't done for 35 years.
Amen.
I think it's time to clean it up with this act, making sure that Amanda's people know about it and not just pay them.
Checks and
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they don't get a time sheet or nothing. I don't know
They're a
how they
totally
pay it.
separate entity from us. They run things, I have no idea. Okay, Mr. Doty?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got two things here. First off, the motion was only to approve what the road department and the road commissioners had voted on and sent to us. Secondly, the Hamblen County Road Commissioners are elected officials. I do not think that we as a Hamblen County Commission are the governing body over other elected officials. I don't think we have the authority to tell other elected officials on things like this. Can we recommend it to other places? Yes. They have their own body, their own. I do not think that we are their keepers or their governing body. I know that people want to throw up planning. Planning is 100% appointed. They are not elected. Every person on the Hamblen County Road Department, or the road commission, all the road commissioners are elected by popular vote inside the county. So I don't think we have authority to supersede what they choose. They basically sent us this for courtesy, saying this is going to be coming back to into our bank accounts. Is my point of view on it.
Thank you, Mr. Doty. Thank you. Anyone else?
Chairman,
Ms. Green?
they may be elected, but Hamblen County citizens pay that. And the law says upon attending, if you fail to attend, you don't take the money. And anybody that took the money and knowed ahead of time that it was upon attending, and you have two that stated they knowed all about it, I was there, they need to pay it back.
So you
That's right and wrong's wrong, if it's me or anyone else.
So you suggest we follow the letter of the law?
I think we have no other choice. Laws are there for a reason. It's just like the private act as far as the attorney. It is all a matter of legal.
Well,
And as our attorney has already said, it states up unattended. I didn't make it up.
no, I understand
That's
that.
exactly
But
what it
remember,
says.
this cuts more than one way.
But I'll take it one step further. If we had had the index,
Well, that's,
that it was, I know, but
I know.
if we'd had it, it would have been where people could have accessed it and pulled it without any trouble.
okay, we have a motion.
Ms. Al.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Al?
Yes, sir, thank you. I'd kind of like to thread the line here, and if money is owed and an invoice is sent, then I look at it as the ball is on that side of the net. And they have to put their head on that pillow like anybody else. And if you have an invoice there, then that person has to deal with it, and I don't understand why it's just one, but if others missed, then, and then I'd kind of like to go with Commissioner Huntsman. Let's move on and get the invoices out there, and it's on their side of the net is the way I look at it, and for the individuals to address it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Al.
Chairman
Anyone else?
Hahn?
Oh, Mr. Long.
I'd like to remind this commission, I think Ms. Green's out of order. This invoice is only for one road commissioner. This has nothing to do with the other road commissioners. This invoice is for one commissioner only. And that's what we're looking at tonight. We're not looking at any other road commissioner. So if you look in your packet, that's the invoice they sent us for Ms. Free only. It's what they approved in their meeting. And we approved this in the committee and sent it forward. But it is only for one road commissioner.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd also like to point out that the road commission has resolved their issue with payment. They have a sign-in sheet that they will now sign and bring back and send to the finance director for approval. Okay, we're not approving, we're just sending out by their signing sheet. So that has been addressed.
Very good. Thank you.
Commissioner Hahn, may I clarify? There were other invoices sent. It was not just this invoice, sir. Everyone was invoiced that came up that had missed meetings, sir. Just for clarification, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion before us. It's basically from Mr. Huntsman, basically, and we've done this with the road department. You know, we did it with, even with, we did the road department and their employees leaving early. We just said, okay, we can't do that, we're gonna put a stop to it. That's essentially what we've got here with Mr. Huntsman. His suggestion is we grandfather it in, we take much better record keeping, and we move on. That's the motion. We have a motion from Mr. Huntsman. Do we have a second?
It's on there, Mr. Walker.
Oh, Kyle Walker, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, that's just the amendment.
Yeah.
So we got
Okay. Mr. Huntsman, could you restate your amendment again, please?
I'd like to amend to the, just to make an amendment to it, to go forward and just through goodwill, just tell them that we're not going to worry about it, we're going to go forward, we're going to do it correctly from now on. It's a mistake that we made, admit the fact we made a mistake, and, but we're not going to go after it, we're going forward. From here on out.
Thank you, Mr. Huntsman. Did you get that okay? Okay. All right. So we have a motion, we have a second. We'll have to okay. Huh?
We're trying to get the computer here.
Did you have anything you want to add, Mr. Richardson?
Mr. Richardson has looked at me like I'm going to say something, and I will.
And you look like you're going to say something.
There has been a lawsuit filed here to enforce these things, so how that affects your all's vote, I'm not going to presume to know or tell you what to do.
At this point, we'll move forward and oh, I'm sorry. I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Mr. Walker, I'm sorry.
You know, I kind of agree with Peggy. This is on them. It's not on the county to enforce this. If we've sent her invoice, if she wants to pay the invoice, that's on her. I don't think we need to, you know, we're going to spend more money trying to enforce her to do it through attorney fees than what we're going to gain. We're spending good money of the counties and the taxpayers' money to go after the same amount of dollars. Does that make any sense? I mean, that's like you buying a 50-cent coupon to get 50 cents off of something. You're not gaining anything from it. So, I mean, that's where we're at. If they want to pay it back, that's on their conscience. It's not on the county's conscience. We just need to move on. We got caught with our pants down. Now we've learned. From this forward on, we deal with it the way we've dealt with it. And we have to enforce it from this period on. That's just my opinion of it.
And your opinion is valuable. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Are we ready? Mr. Neesmith?
On Joe's amendment, Joe, you're saying let bygones be bygones?
That's correct.
That's what you're saying.
And correct from now on, we're going to do it right.
Okay.
That's not going to happen more.
What about the ones that's paid it back?
Well, they're welcome to do it, sure. They can pay
That's
back
good.
anytime now.
What about the invoice we got on the one woman that hadn't paid it yet? What do you do with that?
If they will pay it back, I say pay it back. You know, that's just what they're going to do.
What about the invoice that hadn't, against this
We're
lady?
not going to charge for it. We're not going after it.
You what?
We're not going after it, the invoice. We're not going after it, because we're going to say, if we vote that, then we're going to put it behind us.
No, we're gonna vote on this. It's on the agenda.
Yeah, we're gonna vote on it.
Yeah, we're gonna vote on
Get
it.
all clarification.
See what happens, I don't know.
Mr. Long?
Mr. Chairman, this is my honest belief, I do not think we can vote on this. There's a lawsuit in place. I would think you would have to table this and let it run the course through the courts. I don't think we have the authority as a commission to vote on
I
this
think
now.
that'd be all right, too.
And then the court maybe reverse
Yeah, it's not gonna make any difference in the final analysis. Of course, suit's fine, whatever happens in that lawsuit, whatever, what y'all vote here today, I mean, it may be a moral, decision of your all opinions, but, since this suit is filed, it'll work itself out one way or the other.
Good point.
Put you to the task.
We have a motion, and we have a second, so we're gonna,
This is the motion to amend.
this is the motion to amend. We can vote that on the board now. Mr. Naismith.
I'd like to make an amendment to Mr. Huntsman's amendment that we table this till we find out what this lawsuit's gonna do.
I'll second it.
Well, he will have to remove it. He'll have to take his amendment. It's already on the table and second.
I can't hear you, Bob.
We have, yes.
I'd be willing to rescind my amendment and go back to the original, and then you can decide what we'll do. If we're gonna table it, we'll table it, but the original, we had other stuff to it.
Mr. Chairman, please ask them to speak their mics.
Okay.
We can't hear on this side, sir.
I'll tell you.
Thank you.
We have now, Mr. Huntsman has rescinded his amendment. So that's off the table. We've gotten advice from our county attorney that whatever we vote on here, it's going to play out in the courts, and that'll be the final decision. So it kind of brings us back to a moot point with the lawsuit. But it is on the agenda, and it's probably something we need to table and see what the courts decide. So we have a motion from Mr. Yes.
I'll make a motion that we table it.
Got a motion from Mr. Naismith. I need a second.
I second it.
Ms. Green seconds that. Whew. Okay, now we're gonna get this back into the box here.
We're giving that thing a workout tonight.
Okay, so we're gonna table,
Restate
it's a
it.
motion to table,
Motion to table.
the reimbursement.
Reimbursement from road commission districts.
Edna, you passed your lawsuit out too quick.
It's not mine. I was accused, but it wasn't me.
All right, so they're voting on the second amendment.
Yes.
Table it.
Table.
Okay.
We're good. All right. Gentlemen, we're ready. We have a motion. We have a second. The table, this agenda item. You can vote the motion.
Thirteen yea, 0 nay.
All right. Motion passes.
We need to vote on the original now, is it? Actually,
Yes.
just,
Because they made the motion.
yeah, we amended
We
the
did.
table.
We did.
So-
So we need to vote on the original motion now. So we'll need a motion.
Please read.
We have a motion and we have a second.
We already have that. We have a motion and we have a second. Mr. Huntsman and Mr. Walker. So
No, that's,
I think we've,
I know,
Tabled it.
because they made it, so.
But we're going back to the original. aren't we?
You had a motion and
He
a second.
rescinded the
on
first
You had a
motion.
motion and a second on the
Amendment.
original,
We'll have to do it
all right.
so
Take
we'll
your
have
time.
to vote that down.
Have to vote it down.
We'll have to vote it down. And then,
Vote no on it.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. Don't vote yes.
And it
We
goes
voted
into
yes, or we voted
amendment.
to amend it to table it, so yes, we need to table it.
We've already voted.
We just voted to amend the motion.
I don't know what Robert Rule was doing, but he's got this.
It's convoluted.
Huh?
Clarify that. Who's our parliamentarian?
We have not.
Just want to thank Chairman Cutshaw back there.
Yes. If we could, from County Mayor, because he was our base parliamentarian there for a while, the motion, the amended motion was to table this, so that motion is to table it completely until after the lawsuit. Does that mean when we vote on the original motion, yes is to table and no is to not table?
When you table a motion, I think it reduces everything to the table and you take everything off.
Take it off, so we don't vote, we
do
don't
not
vote the original motion.
You do not vote the original motion. You are voting to table the motion. Excuse me, sir? You're voting to table the motion. It takes it off of the agenda
Thank you, sir.
for indefinite time.
Okay,
Thank you.
so we're there.
Yes, so we do not have.
So are we going to 11C?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to move on, Mr. Doty.
All right, since how we tabled 11B, we'll move on to 11C, budget amendments. 11C1 is Fund 101, County Clerk's Office for $10,000, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Let's vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11C2 is Fund 101, Circuit Court for $1,587.50, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Mr. Walker. Any discussion? Let's vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11C3, Fund 101, County Mayor, $21,960.60, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Ms. Green?
Thank you, Commissioner Holmes. I agree with the lady that spoke earlier. We are going to have an enormous amount of money between this, what she calls Taj Mahal, and it's what I call it as well, and other expenses. I can't see spending this. We have had mayors in the past that went in and were fantastic at their jobs. I just don't see that. We've got very good people in Hamblen County. Mr. Dennis Box and Miss Amanda over there, they're the cream of the crop. So I don't see spending extra to bring back a consultant. I feel like if Mr. Britton wanted to retire for a reason, he deserves to be left out and left alone.
Okay. You have your vote. Anyone else? And if you already don't know, Bill Britton offered his services, so we're not dragging him into anything. And yeah, so let's vote the motion.
Yea, 2 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11C4, Fund 176, Capital Highway Projects Fund, $450,000, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any discussion? Mr. Neesmith?
Is this money taken out of the wheel tax money funds?
Yes.
It is.
It is, yes. Any other questions? Let's vote the motion.
Good job. Oh.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11D, which is Resolution 2430, a resolution authorizing Hamblen County to commit additional funding on CDBG project 16103 for a 2024 fire engine, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any questions or discussion? Let's vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Item 11E is Resolution 2431A, resolution of the County Commission of Hamblen County, Tennessee, accepting a historic development grant from the state of Tennessee to help fund the repair of the courthouse portico. And I put that in form of a motion.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any questions?
I have to type this in, it'll be too.
Okay, hold on one second. Do we have any discussion on this? Any questions? It's in dire need. I think, Mr. Mayor, you said that could not be rebuilt, it had to be replaced.
That is according,
Early results.
according to the report that we have on their guidelines, find that verbiage here, that the structural engineer has recommended it be replaced and not repaired. That is correct.
Could you, while she's getting that set up, we talked earlier about the historical registry and what we're obligated to that.
Yes, our courthouse was duly registered as a historic place April the 13th, 1973. And since then, there are standards that you have to upkeep because you are on the National Registry. Now, I don't know all the ins and outs of that. However, if we fail to upkeep that, we could fall off the National Registry. And this whole process began. There is a $500,000 grant out there, which is a 50% match. There's going to be structural engineering done. There's got to be architecture looked at and bid work before we know what's going to happen here. The building, or the portico, may actually be built with modern era materials and clad with certain materials so that we can keep the integrity of the historic building. That is yet to be determined. It's all in your packet. If you take a look at that and want to read over on the back of it, there's the guidelines that we're having to adhere to, such as the columns, the railings, and the decking that has to match the historic part that's there now. These are some federal guidelines. In other words, the Secretary of the Interior standards that we were going to have to meet to do this. That's part of this grant.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Ready? We have a motion. We have a second. We have no discussion. Let's vote the motion.
Yea, 1 nay.
Motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Doty. We'll move on down to Chairman Mike Richardson of the Public Services Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Item 12A, surplus items for county clerk, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second. Any questions on this? Let's vote the motion.
Yea, 0 nay.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 12B, certificate of authority for Morristown Hamblen EMS, and I put that in the form of a motion.
We have a motion. We have a second.
I have to add this.
Okay, go right ahead. Do we have any questions on this? You got the handout for it. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Good. Let's vote the motion.
Well, I've got to get my
Hold 1 second.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
We're ready to vote.
Yea, 1 nay.
Motion passes.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Richardson. That concludes our business for tonight. A couple of housekeeping chores here, a couple of announcements. Our November committee meeting will be Tuesday, November 12th at 5 o'clock right here. And the commission meeting will be Thursday, November 21st at 5 o'clock, also right here. Let's all
No, I just want you to gavel and say something.
do what?
Can I have a moment?
Yeah, I'll give you this.
Thank you.
We also need to keep in mind that we have a seat to fill for District 9. And we'll take that up next month. I believe Ms. Howell has something she wants to say.
Yes, sir. When do we do the vice chair?
Oh,
Chairman, we're down a chairman as
blew
well.
right past that. We do, yes, we do. I had it in my
Want
notes
to
right here.
Step back and do vice chair first and then redo for chair, or for myself, I'd like to extend a vote of confidence to our vice chair and acting chair, Mr. Bobby Hone, to fill the seat of chairman for the commission for the remainder of this term, or this year.
What, we decided no vote necessary?
Mr. Chairman, it's not necessary, however, for that vote of confidence, it'd just be good for.
All for it. Do you need to type that in? Give us 1 minute. Well, that'll be item 3B.
Yeah, 3B.
We just thought we were done.
What was that vote of confidence?
I haven't heard anything else.
It was a vote of confidence to approve Bobby as our chair to finish out the year. Mr. Bobby Hone.
Okay, let's vote the motion. Oh, wait a minute. Thomas Doty made the motion. We got a second?
Don't have to have a second on a nomination.
Do not. Thank you. All right, let's vote the motion.
Twelve yeas, 0 nay.
All right, that motion
And one
passes.
abstain. I'm sorry, one abstain.
One abstained, okay?
For item,
Trish-
for item 3C,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Mr. Stan Harville as our vice chairman of the commission.
Okay, we have a motion for Stan Harville as vice chair.
We don't need
No, we don't need a second. Do we have any other nominations? We'll close the nominations.
Let's see. So we need a motion This machine won't go on without it.
Oh. Well, you had to.
Okay.
Mike Richardson did, so.
Okay, if they'll just somebody hit the second.
If you'll hit second, Mike, it's requiring it.
Second.
On the
Confounded machine won't work.
Okay.
All right, let's vote this motion.
Twelve yea, 0 nay, one abstain.
Congratulations, Mr. Harville.
Thank you.
Motion passes. We have a new vice chair. Well, thank everybody.
Bobby, I think we got one more motion we're gonna have to have. We're gonna have to have somebody to fill in for the finance, your department. I make a motion we put Stan Harville.
Oh, that'll come under committee.
It's under committees, yeah.
Huh?
That's under committees.
Yeah, under committees.
Yeah, the chairman will appoint committees.
Chair appoints that.
You gonna appoint that? Get Curly here. Put Curly in there.
Thank you for your confidence.
You are me, Naismith.
We are, I'm working
Adjourn
up the
this
committees. I'll have those for us by the committee meetings next month. Have those finalized. You'll get an email on that in the next few days. Okay, did that clarify, Mr. Neesmith? You're okay? We're good. Okay. Appreciate everybody's hard work and your attendance. My predecessor up here would have all minds clear. So we're going to carry that tradition on. All minds clear? We stand adjourned.